Oh, presently, now we have 65 countries along the whole belt, and I think with the bank, 56 countries already signed up with the bank, AIB. So I think it's now on a very good process. Every countries are looking at different ways to cooperate. Infrastructures are starting to come in. Some rail track have already signed agreement, but still in the very, very early stage. We believe it was a 50 years project. So this is only 2 years, so it's still a very infant stage. Yes. So I still believe that there's a lot of, between countries, there are still a lot of agreement yet to be inked. Every country have to look at what is good for their own citizens, own economy. And it is interesting because it is not a multi-level or new organization that, oh, everybody must sign in the same thing. It is a voluntary. If people feel that they're politically is viable, they do it. And it's not only with China, it should be country with countries. So it may be Germany interested with work with other partners. It may be China working with the Kazakhstan countries, or it may be some of the Central European countries working with each other. So it will be a clusters of economies working together. And that was, I think, is the most interesting of it. Well, as I mentioned, I think earlier that it is a vision, it's a strategy, but it's not a compulsively signed project. So every country really has to think of politically, is it benefit for their own country, versus, okay, China say I put $40 billion into the project, but is it must, or it is only a way of inciting new investment? And everybody knows the economy is getting, the developed countries now economies are not as good. So this may be a means of bringing up using relying infrastructures to build up the economy. But most important of all, I still believe is a strategy that everybody, every country have to look at themselves inside. This is good for my country. This is good for my people. This is good for my economy. And if all these three is good, then people with more interest. Now, how is China going to look at that? Of course, China said, I put all the monies in. We hope that we will utilize more our infrastructure, construction materials, how we will assist to build. But this is only part of the process. Actually, what China wants to do is build up clusters of industrial zone, cluster of manufacturing zone. And all these are actually supporting local economy rather than Chinese economy. China cannot bring everything from China. It's impossible. So by building up clusters of industrial zone, logistics zone, manufacturing zone, local economy will benefit. I think that was the important mindset of people. Everybody should think about it. So it's no longer, I push you, you must do this way. I think that is a little bit different this time. Well, in the old days, when we have all this multinational global initiative, the WTO, the GATT in the old days. Now with APEC, we have different economy scales, different agreement, the 16+1 with Central European, with China. So all this little bit of multilateral agreement, the whole purpose is to try to provide free trade for each other. And by bringing more trade, some countries might be able to demand a bit more. And I think in this particular case, in the New Silk Road, the whole concept actually is there's no time limit. There's no, oh, I must establish this agreement by this time frame. It will take a long process. People, all the 65, 66 countries, when it's all started off, people have a suspicious, what's in for myself? What's in for my country? So I think the Chinese government have been trying their best to tell everybody that it's not only good for you, but we're looking for the whole mankind. Because if you look at this from China all the way to Western Europe, it covers more than half the world population, or 2/3 of the world populations, and more than 2/3 of the world GDP economy is there. So some of them countries are very poor, some are very established. So it's difficult to pull the poor and the rich together. So by let's try to bring the resources that, let me help to put some resources into the poorer country, at particular African regions and the Middle East, and also utilize the resources available in Kazakhstan, all this town country, which they have rich in mineral resources. But it's landlocked. They can't bring the things out. So everything is stuck inside the country. So by building all the infrastructures, the rail, everything, then hopefully the whole economy and the whole this region will have a new life, new bloodline. And maybe we can sustain another 50 years, because the growth nowadays is really very low and less than 1%. So this is difficult to sustain for world economy.